This is the Keychron C2, a full-size mechanical keyboard. It's something I wanted for a very long time and finally got my hands on one, and I'm super excited to share with you my very first impression and unboxing experience. It's been more than 12 years since I used a full-size keyboard. I think the last one I used was a Logitech Wave keyboard. Since then, I've been using my MacBook and the Apple wireless keyboard. Both are not mechanical, nor features a numpad. Which brings me to the reason why I wanted to get the Keychron C2. I needed a keyboard so I can lift my MacBook higher, since my neck is getting rather achy and creaky these days. Plus, I wanted the numpad for more keys to use in Blender, and the added bonus to try out something new and more tactical in terms of typing experience to see what the fuss is all about. There are many keyboard options on the market, ranging from entry-level prices to the super high-end custom ones. The Keychron C2 seems like a reasonable entry price point for a total beginner like me, since I didn't want to splash out a huge amount of money at this stage. I originally wanted the K10 Bluetooth wireless version along with the Gateron red switches, as they are quieter, but the only option the store had was the C2 with the blue switches and the wired only version. The benefit is that this one is more affordable and I don't have to deal with the internal batteries, charging, and potential wireless connection issues. Also, since I'm going to be using it at the desk anyway, I figured I'd forego the wireless and save some money, which I spent on getting some extra Cherry MX Silent Red switches instead. Speaking of which, this is what the Keychron C2 sounds like with the clicky tactile Gateron Blue switches. It is super loud, to be honest. If you're in a noisy, sensitive environment, I think it could be quite annoying. But if you're typing alone, I have to admit it's quite satisfying and fun to type with these switches. Kinda reminds me of these old typewriters. I remember my sister dropping one of them down the stairs once when we were younger. In a future video, I'll give you an update once I have tried out the Cherry Silent Reds, and I might even try to lubing them. Apparently, that's a whole nother level of customization. I won't bore you with the specs. You can either pause this screen or check them out on Keychron's website. In the lovely looking box, you get the keyboard itself, of course, some documentations and warning cards about not breaking the switches when changing them, a USB Type-C cable with an included USB-A adapter, a keycap remover and a switch remover, some spare keys to change the escape key to the Keychron logo, and changing the Mac Command Option keys to the Windows and Alt keys. So here are my initial impressions having used it for less than 24 hours. I'll start with the bad points. Let's get them out of the way, in no particular order. Some of the keycap prints don't look that great, such as the one around the page up and down area and the caps lock key, for example. It's not obvious at first when the lights are off, but once lit you can see they don't look even. Keychron have addressed it on their website, and I quote, "The short answer to the question would be, it was a color matching problem." I'll leave a link down below for the full explanation. It's good they have acknowledged the problem, but surely there's a way to fix it. Keychron only offers 3 Gateron switch options, blue, red, and brown. Even if I got the red version, I don't think it's quite enough, and you have to resort to switching the switches yourself, which brings me nicely to the good points. The full RGB keys are hot swappable. Not only do they look cool, but you can change them to pretty much any switches on the market, as the keyboard is compatible with almost all the MX style 3-pin, 5-pin mechanical switches on the market, including Gateron, Cherry, Kale, etc. In fact, let's take a quick look at the 15 plus types of RGB modes. The keyboard frame feels nice, just enough weight not to feel cheap or tacky, and it's full size. Although the feel of the keys are highly dependent on what switch you use, so far, as mentioned, I quite like the blue clicky switches to my own surprise. It's certainly a huge difference compared to a laptop keyboard, but it is indeed satisfying to type on if you ignore the noise. I like that it has Mac-based keys installed straight out of the box as a Mac user myself. Although not applicable to me, the included Windows replacement keys and compatibility along with it and Linux is a nice feature. A final good point is the packaging does look quite nice if you care about it. Now onto some points or areas that are either subjective or I don't know enough about to comment on, but I'll mention it anyway for fairness. At $59 US, I feel like it's a great price for what you get, but this is only a single data point. I haven't been exposed to many other mechanical keyboards, so I'm not entirely sure am I getting a good deal or is this way off compared to what a premium model would be like, since there are so many other models on the market. I really like the look of it. At first I wanted a full white keyboard, but I think the contrast looks great. Even the single orange escape key looks quite cool, even though it's not my personal choice of color. I wonder if I can change it. Speaking of which, the double shot white keycaps. How long can they resist staining in the long run? My last neutral point, and I'll wrap it up together with my conclusion about the overall typing experience impression, which is arguably probably the most important point after all. A combination of a completely new keyboard, the keycap feel, and more significantly the higher key travel means I'm a little less accurate at the moment typing on the Keychron C2. After all, I've been using my MacBook Pro's keyboard for many years. No doubt my muscle memory is deeply ingrained with that keyboard. Give it some time, I should be able to get used to the Keychron. As of right now, it's not ruining my typing experience. Far from it, but I just notice I'm hitting the wrong keys occasionally and learning where the function keys are, whereas on my MacBook I could literally do it without looking. So to wrap up my impression, I have no regrets in buying it. The packaging, look and feel of the Keychron C2 has met my price point expectations. If you're in a market for a tactile mechanical keyboard, I think it's a great starting point. A final reminder before I sign off, I haven't tried out the Cherry Silent Red switches yet. I'll cover those in a separate future video. With that being said, my name is Joe, and if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you for watching. If you like this video, perhaps you could give me a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe for more content like this. Consider watching these videos that YouTube suggests. I'll hopefully see you in the next video.